Hi, in this video on my BeagleBoard using OpenCV, I ended last time getting the light brown color, kind of. So I thought maybe I could go on with masking out the orange jump wires as seen here. However, those are very small. What I can do is trying this red knob of that breadboard. So if I zoom in, select color probe, there's another issue approaching, because of course the colors are not consistent red. So while this is obviously red, this is very dark red. So let's see which values are matching. Bright red is 4, 63 and 71, and while 4 has to be divided by 2, the other ones have to be multiplied by 2.5, because there's an HSV value difference between GIMP and OpenCV. And now we're at it. This is, let's see, yeah, okay, and the dark red would be 954 and 48. They are not that far apart. Let me try to get the brightest red possible in this case, which is 6. So I think that I should stick with the UE of 4 I measured earlier. So when I change those colors or those values, I should get a very nice next value. Therefore I also want to change this code, adding a little bit with it, so that I keep this picture and can see if it really turns red here somewhere. So I'm going to do that. So I have calculated the new values for HSV. After that I have literally copied complete value, which should not be such a problem. Or maybe I should use DST9 for this. DST5 is no problem. Can't imagine it will. Let me use DST9 for this. DST5 is coming from quite a different place, so that is no problem. I've taken 255 here, and the values for saturation and value as I've calculated them. So let's see what happens, if anything. I am very curious. Let me drag this up. And it looks like I have to yes, the mask, which isn't showing anything. So that doesn't work yet. It's completely back. Let me change to the real values, see if that works. This would be then 120. It's remarkable that every time it comes back to the same thing. And I noticed that I have to use the ampersand like this, and let's see what happens now. Still nothing. So apparently, although I thought I had fixed this all, it's not going the same each and every time. What if I do well, this shouldn't be a problem. Upper are the higher values, lower are the other values. So if I take this again to 255, who knows what happens? It stays very curious every time. Very much black again. So let's see about the colors. This is for 33 and 71, which is fine. And I'm taking the red color, which is kind of complicated. This is kind of red. So with these values being correct after all, how is it that it following this same way that I found out how to do it still gives a black image? That is quite annoying, so to speak. I'm getting the same HSV, which is really the cause. This is exactly the same. The whole code isn't changed apart from some little parts. So it is still quite intriguing. How does it not work? I have to once again dive deeper. When looking at the values, UE is correct. However, a small calculation error has been made apparently. So 170 should be 157. And on that matter, but I don't know if that will make a difference. This is 135, while this would be 120. So let's just see how this works out. And as far as I can see it, it doesn't. Not in the least even. So when I bring this back to 255 and this back to 255, I keep one value different, which is 157. So let's see how this works out. Lo and behold. And if we look at this picture, let me get this one away. There's some orange here, red here. Looking here, this is clearly a change in a good way. Let's say 1 centimeter here and 1.5 centimeter from there. One centimeter here and 1.5 centimeter from there, so that is clearly the spot. However, I would have expected a complete thing here, and that hasn't happened, to my surprise. So what is the cause of that? It is just a little speck here. Well, that is a change. I wonder why it doesn't show the full thing. What if I change this to 1 to make it larger? The difference between the UE. Let's just have a look. Not really a change there. And what if I change here 5 to 6? And that was a wrong decision because the red is gone. So 5 is red. That much is clear. And I have lost and red is back, although not the entire way as I expected it to be, which makes me wonder, going back here, if I probe for instance here, I have the value 9, 54 and 48, so that is no difference. This is a redder value, 9, 57 and 62, which is a little bit redder. and 62. Okay, I used Octave to correct my values, so let's use Octave for getting very correct values here. And 62 times 2.5, which are rounded 142 and round, well, that's just 155, and that is with the darker color, but I need to have 255 colors apparently. So let's see what happens if I change this. I am a bit skeptical. They're gone, yes. So these values, okay, let's just do one at a time. Now, okay, so this actually means that I should keep for the upper red value a UE set to 5, but a saturation and value to the maximum of 255. And then I do have specks of red, however not the entire thing, and that is, to say the least, pretty remarkable. And this is again 5, 57 and 58. However, this is not coming close to, this is all in the range of 5, and these values for the upper range don't matter. The upper range should here be for saturation 255 and 255 for value as well, to actually get the specs as we've seen, and a higher value for UE leaves the red, because as we see, let me put this one to 6 and this one to 1. Let's run it. I expect it to turn to grey. Yeah, it's greyish. So this one back to 5. I expect it to be back to red. Yes. What if I change this to 4? I haven't done that yet. And 2 specs are gone. So I need it on 5. Apparently that makes enough of a difference. So whatever these colors are, I'm not yet able to give it a complete thing. Looking at the difference between here and here, it's quite a lot. This is a 10 value difference, while this is a 4 value difference. This is also 100 instead of 155. This about the same, and this is once again even less. So even less than the saturation. So I'm going to leave it for now. still some things to investigate, because I really want that red spot here, not just a pixel, but the real thing here. And let's see what we can achieve next time. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and to be continued.